Welcome to the Joven Sports Show. Today we got MLB. MLB's been rolling for about 2.5 weeks now. I'm loving it, doing fantasy every single night. At least we're watching sports every night. I got 2 TVs in the living room. We're back, baby.
Overall, how do you feel like your fantasy DFS 2 weeks has been going?
It hasn't been good, and hopefully my wife doesn't listen to that.
Yeah.
Hopefully tonight's the night. Once you get the ball rolling a little bit, everything gets going. So.
Yeah, no, I started off real slow. Every couple days making another deposit wasn't good. I was playing mainly on DraftKings, and I started feeling like there was just so much variance, and pitchers being getting the quick hook, and all these like extra players being pinch hit for middle of the game, and lineups changing last minute. Like I honestly I walked away from DK just for the time being. Like it wasn't. I like DK better. But FanDuel's easier, in my opinion. It's one pitcher. Yeah. You don't get penalized negatively for.
Well, you get the negative. Oh my God! Like brutal, I'll have who is it? I had Kyle Hendricks yesterday, and he pitched a great game. Yeah, he only got me like 7 fantasy points because he gave up like 8 hits, but none of them converted to runs. But he lost tons of points on it. I was like,
and on FanDuel, like you can load the bases every inning, and then if you just strike out the side, you end up it's a plus. Whereas DK, it's a wash. So, it's much more simplified, like strikeouts. And I just want the guy to go quality start, win. Like, pretty basic, So.
Yeah, I think stuff's going to simplify here coming up, especially when the rosters go from, 30 now, down to what? It's going to go down to 28.
I think they're going to 28, but then they just voted that they're going to keep the 28 for the whole season. So
which I'm okay with. But adding the extra relievers in the bullpen's definitely been messing with me. Because there's guys I've never even heard of bullpens.
And once these starters get pulled in like the 4th inning, it's like, all right, I have no idea what's going to happen. And teams like the Dodgers are pissing me off with like, the last night they flipped their whole lineup lefty righty, with matchups. And it was like, I was playing guys like Jock and it's like, okay, I mean, he wasn't doing well, but it's like.
They're only getting 2 at-bats.
Can we just let the guys play,
Yeah.
But whatever. But yeah, baseball's been great, man. We're getting like 7 to 10 games a night. Obviously, there's been some hiccups and some hurdles, teams getting shut down and quarantined. But that, in my opinion, that's to be expected. Like, this is the first league, that's like really getting after it. NBA's in their bubbles, they're different. It's going to happen. And I think baseball's been making the most of it. And for the most part, it's been pretty normal,
Well, and they found out, the team, who is it on the they all went to the casino.
The Marlins?
The Cardinals. No, the St. Louis Cardinals. They found out a bunch of players went to a casino, and it was like, well, obviously that's not very smart right now during the season. There's just way too much. There's way too much, weighing on them. So,
right.
If they can do it right, I think it's fine. I think the more positive news is nothing serious has come from these coronavirus tests. These
everyone's recovering. Everyone's getting back into the lineup and playing.
Yeah. Now, if somebody was like in the ICU or something, the MLB season's done.
It'd be really bad.
It's good that everyone's getting through it healthy and everything.
Big time.
So, happy about that. What do you think about the crowd noise, the inputted crowd noise into the games?
Okay, so I don't mind the crowd noise. Like, I think it's cool. It can be a little corny at times, but
yeah,
I like the fake, virtual crowd more than I like the cardboard cutout. The cardboard cutout is just weird. I mean, I have a little daughter.
I wish there was just nobody in there.
And she keeps talking like, hey, when can we go and sit with like the statues? It's just weird. Like, I don't know. I don't like it. I would prefer like Fox, I think, is the one who's doing the virtual crowd. But it's as long as they're picking and choosing like their camera angles, for the most part, like I haven't really, paid attention to it too much the last couple of days. Yeah, I think
honestly, it's just the foul balls. I think the first couple of games, the noise was a mess.
Yeah, it was
like
weird.
Too loud or too quiet, buzzing, stuff like that. And as I've noticed this week, everyone's kind of got it dialed in.
Yeah, the players are used
with
to
crowd
it.
Cheering, they're doing very good with it. So they already got it down pat after a few weeks.
And dude, something about it. I mean, obviously, when fans can go back, bring them back. Like pack those stadiums. Nothing can replicate that. But there is something to hearing like Aaron Judge hit the ball off the bat in a silent stadium. That's just like,
it's cool, man.
Pretty awesome. Like,
or like when it hits the center field wall, after a home run, you hear it bash against the wall. I like all that stuff. The crack of the bat, you're right. Just all the little noises, I think makes it, more personal. So
big time.
All right, man. Well, since these teams have played not all teams, but most teams have played between 9 and 10 games or 9 and 11 games.
We're almost a quarter of the way through.
That's nuts.
It's crazy.
So we're going to go not team by team. We're going to go division by division. We're going to catch some headlines, what teams have been going off, what teams are disappointing, and so on and so forth. So
yeah,
we're going to get on to the AL East here.
Okay.
I think the Yankees are already running away with this thing.
The Yankees are who they thought we were, or thought they were. They're the best team in baseball.
8-1. They have a plus 17 run differential already through 9 games.
Dude, they're just their lineup top to bottom is unbelievable. They have depth behind that lineup. You know, guys that are reserves and will get a spot start here and there. Those guys start for most teams, and when they miss someone like Gleyber Torres, has missed a game or two here and there, it doesn't even affect the team. Like all it takes is one of those guys, whether it's Luke Voigt or Judge, obviously has been on a tear, or Stanton gets hot. Like all it takes is one or two guys in that lineup to be on fire, and that lineup's going to go. But they've been awesome.
Yeah, and some of the surprising teams in a negative way, I think, are the Tampa Bay Rays. They're 5-6. I thought they were going to come out looking a lot better. They're just they're scoring a lot of runs. Their pitching's just giving up a lot of runs. And I thought it was going to be the complete opposite this year. I thought their bullpen was going to come in hot. And who knows? They can get hot, but I think definitely disappointed.
I think they're a team, in my opinion, that has gotten just a little too cute. Like Glasnow and Snell, like those guys are pitching like 3 or 4 innings and they're getting the hook.
I know.
I get it. You don't want to risk injury because, an arm issue for 2 weeks is half the season, I feel like. But I feel like they're getting just a little cute, and putting too much on their bullpen, which is just night in and night out. That's a tough thing to carry on your shoulders,
Yeah, and they got Meadows back last night, which is going to be huge for them. I mean, he's an all-star, so that'll be a big one for them. Surprising team on the winning side is the Baltimore Orioles, and 5-4.
Dude, the Orioles are 5-4, and Chris Davis isn't even hot yet.
Not even hot yet.
God, I played him in DFS last night in one lineup, and he was 1% on. I was the only person that had him in a 100-person room, and I would have loved nothing more to go ballistic, but he went, I think, over 4.
One of these days, he's going to go ballistic. Someone's going to win a lot of money because of it, because he's only going to go 1% owned.
Dude, and this is the official pod of the Chris Davis movement, so I feel like I have to keep playing him until it happens. The resurgence is gonna happen.
Just every GPP you play, Chris Davis has got.
Maybe he's just like a playoff guy, like he'll come alive when it matters. I don't know.
That's right. He's a sleeper cell.
Yeah.
The other team in this division, or 2 teams more, we got the Toronto Blue Jays and the Boston Red Sox are both doing not great. Blue Jays had to take some time off because of COVID. The reality is they're a young team and they just need more experience, so they just need to keep running those guys out there every day.
That's
Vlad's batting like 160 right now. So
that's my thought. They're just young. Their pitching staff's not very good. Like they're going to be a 500 team. I think that's what I predicted. When we were doing our baseball preview about 6 months ago before the season got delayed. They're talented. They're crazy talented. They're going to score some runs. They're going to have some games where they go off, but they're not a top team. They're a few years away.
And then we got the Boston Red Sox, and this is the most astonishing stat with them. I know they're doing terrible this year, but they have a negative 15 run differential. They've given up 62 runs, and to put that in comparison, the Yankees have given up 34.
Good Lord.
Yeah, so the Red Sox are just getting lit. Their pitching is awful. They did nothing to really fix it this offseason. Our boy Chris Mazza came in last week and tore it up. Had 2 2/3 innings, right, with no earned runs and a couple Ks. So I think he's like the highlight of their entire team right now.
He should get some more opportunities, but they're a mess, man. I mean, we knew they'd take a step back. Obviously,
they're not even hitting right now.
That's the surprising part. Like I had a feeling their staff was going to get tore up, especially like Sale, not being around, that could get them through 1 game a week. But the staff's a mess, and they're not hitting. Like JD is obviously just doing, I don't know what.
Yeah, they're not like Xander's doing terrible hitting, but they're all just right about average or below average.
For them to compete, this team was going to have to be like a top offense, and they're not. So they're in trouble, and not just that division, but even with the expanded playoffs. I mean, we'll get to some of these other divisions, but they're way down the totem pole in the American League right now.
Yep. All right, so moving on to the AL Central. This division's been pretty competitive. Everyone but the Royals. The Royals are your mark and loss of the night. So, but the Twins are obviously the best team. they're solid from their pitching staff all the way through their hitting. They have a plus 27 run differential. I mean, that's ridiculous already.
They smash, man. They hit the hell out of the ball. Obviously the run differential, they've had a few blowout games, which is like, blowing that number up a little bit. But the Twins and the White Sox, I mean, both of those teams just absolutely mash.
And the White Sox, I mean, look at this. So they're 7-4, but they're on a 6-game winning streak. So they started off slow, but they're starting to catch on here, and those guys can absolutely mash.
Last night was a crazy game. Like, to me, it proved a lot because, like I said in our preview, like the White Sox to me need to kind of prove it. They're still really young. They have a few veterans that they added, but they just haven't done it yet. Last night they faced off with Woodruff, and it was a tight game. They, were not struggling, but, they were getting it, handled a little bit by Woodruff, and they found a way to, tie it up and with a Jimenez bomb late in the game, and then they ended up finding a way to win. So if they can, smash these bad teams and then find a way to win some of these like close, tight games with the Indians and the Twins, like, dude, watch out for the White Sox. My boy Luis Robert, who I projected to be rookie of the year, is I think hitting somewhere in the 450s and just crushing. Going off. Yeah, I love that they moved him to the leadoff spot too. So
yeah, that's huge, especially for DFS.
Yeah.
Surprising team, Detroit Tigers are actually 500. I don't know how they're doing that, but hey,
their lineup has been the same for like 4 years. Like, I look at the lineup that comes out every night, and I'm pretty sure the manager just turns in the same lineup card from like 2019. He just changes the date every time. It's unbelievable.
Detroit's a mess, man. I don't know. They're going to end up not making the playoffs, but hey, so far not too bad.
Yeah, and the one team too, Indians, obviously they're hovering at 500. Just watch out for them. Their pitching staff is insane.
Pitching is unreal.
Bieber is probably the Cy Young right now. I mean, dude, he is lights out. And then they've got Clevenger, Carrasco. They've got some dudes. So, like, if their staff gets hot, it could, and they can shut down the Twins, White Sox here and there. Like, those are going to be some awesome games down the stretch.
Yeah, they've only given up 30 runs in 12 games.
Yeah, if their bats can just get going a little bit, like I feel like it's every other night.
Awful.
Well, it will be like Ramirez will be on fire one night. He'll go 3 for 4, with a home run, but then Lindor will be 0 for 3, vice versa. So, like, if they can get Santana, Lindor, Ramirez all hitting on the same page.
Man, we're in the 100-meter sprint now, not the marathon, right? Yeah, and the Twins are out to a huge lead right now. They got 3.5 games on the Indians already. Yeah, and it's like, there's only 50 games left.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing. Just keep in mind, like, the expanded playoffs, like, they could sneak into one of those like wild card things. And the Indians are not a team I'd want to play in a 3-game like playoff series with that pitching staff. So, if you have to go, Carrasco, Bieber, and Clevenger back to back, like, dude, they could hang with anyone at that point. So just watch out for Cleveland.
Yep. So moving on to the AL West, I think this is going to one of the most intriguing divisions just because I feel like these guys are beating up on each other. The Seattle Mariners have thrown a wrench into things to start the season. They're only 4-8, but those 4 wins have come against the A's and the Angels.
Yeah. Same with the Tigers. I even see 4-8. And I'm like, how? Like, I don't. I know that's bad, and I still am shocked. I don't know. Them and the Rangers are really bad. Like, but and this season is weird. They've been picking off some games here and there. The Rangers, I think, took 2 or 3 of the Giants, who aren't very good. So yeah, I mean, this is a 3-team race, and it's probably really a 2-team race in this division.
Yeah, it's the A's, the Astros, and if the Angels can get hot, I like the Angels team though.
Dude, I like their lineup. I hate their pitching staff.
Yeah, the only person I like is Heaney, and Joe Madden will let him go past 75 pitches. So
Madden is pissing everyone off in the fantasy world lately. But yeah, you've got that, and then the big thing that came out, just a few days ago is Ohtani shut down for the season pitching. So this is another team like Boston that they're going to need to rake, or they're not going to have a shot. Like they're just flat out. Trout came back last night and was a guaranteed home run. I called it. Like, of course he did. But they need Trout, Rendon, Upton, to wake up Pujols. They just pulled up Joe Adele, their top prospect. So that would be interesting. This team's got to hit though, or they have no shot.
Have to. Yeah. And with the A's, I wanted to bring up their start sensation, and I called him for my rookie of the year, was Jesus Luzardo.
Yeah.
They finally gave him a start last night, and they said they were going to limit him to about 70 pitches tops, and that's what they did. He went 5 innings, no earned runs, 5 Ks.
Yeah.
He looked nasty while he was doing it.
Yeah. He's going to be a problem for a long time.
So the fact that the A's have that pitching staff and you add Luzardo as your 4th or 5th, I mean, the A's, I think, are the team that are end up pulling this division out, just like I predicted in the beginning. The Astros just aren't looking smooth enough for me. You know, those bats just aren't really going. You know, it's like that young pitcher is the only one that's looking really good, Javier. But how long is that going to last? You know?
Yeah, they're still 6-4. They're right there with the A's.
But you'd expect them to be up there with the teams like the Twins and the Yankees. You know, 9-1 and 10-2.
Yeah, I mean, we knew they would take a step back. Verlander, if he can't come back, is going to be a problem for these guys. I think they have one of the youngest bullpens in baseball. So, you know, you're relying on those guys without Verlander, who's going to eat up 7-8 innings in a game. Like, especially if you start getting some of these double headers that they're going to start playing. Like, oh man, like again, they're another team that's just going to have to hit because they're not complete right now. They're a great offense, and that's, you know, kind of average right now. So
right.
That's
any other players standing out to you in the AL West? I mean, Trout going yard, his first at bat after he has his baby is pretty cool.
I said that yesterday. I was like, I'm quitting DFS forever if he doesn't hit a home run. And
his first at bat, he went deep.
It was like, okay, thank God. But yeah, he's still probably the best player in baseball. You know, no doubt about it. He's awesome. He started off a little bit slow, but when he gets going, it's, you know, watch out. So if this team can pull 4 or 5 games, you know, in right now, like watch the Angels.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. So now moving on to the National League, we'll start in the National League East. The top team in the division is the Miami Marlins.
Technically, yeah.
Even though they've only played 4 games. But they are 3-1. I mean, that's a hell of a start. They're going to have a lot of double headers coming up though.
What happens with the Marlins if they just like keep on purpose getting COVID and they only they finish 6-1 when the 65 day mark's over? They only play 8 games or 7 games. And
well, they were saying you have to complete 60. That's the rule. Like, you got to complete 60.
So what? They're going to have to play 30 back-to-back doubleheaders.
They're going to have to do a lot of doubleheaders, man. Yep.
Man, they're in trouble. Yeah, but I like it. It is the first place Marlins is pretty wild.
Yeah. Right now. But obviously we got the Atlanta Braves. They're solid. I don't think they're a World Series team yet, but they're obviously going to be a top 5 team in the league.
The Braves
going into the playoffs. Yeah, I think they're awesome. But with Soroka going down with the torn Achilles, I mean, that's their number 1.
Soroka, was it Fultonevich that got dropped?
Yep.
DFA'd. So he, is DFA'd. They just put Albies on the 10-day DL, which, I mean, that's like a 50-day DL, normally. So that's a problem. And who's the other? Matt Adams, I think, just went on the DL. So yeah, man, their core players are legit. Acuna, Freddie Freeman. I mean, those guys are as good as it gets. Dansby Swanson is I don't know if he's juicing or what, but I know he's a top prospect, but he's raking. Austin Riley, so they're right there. They're probably the best team in the division. But man, the Phillies are tough because the Phillies are the ones that I predicted. I mean, I had them going to the World Series because I think top to bottom they're still a better team. Mm-hmm. But they played 4 games because they got shut down.
Yeah, and honestly,
throws their momentum.
I just don't trust the Phillies against the pitching that they have to go against so consistently. I feel like Bryce Harper, Rhys Hoskins, these guys are great hitters. Don't get me wrong, but they're usually hitting all their home runs off second-tier guys.
Yeah,
and in this division, you got Scherzer, you got Corbin, you got DeGrom, you got all these guys that are just absolute studs pitching against them, and they're not going outside their division this year. I just don't see the Phillies really doing much.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, they're like a lot of these teams, right? Like if they can get the bats going, they can hang with anyone. Like they've got the right star power, 1 through 6.
Yeah, they have all the star power for sure.
But nothing's clicking. But then again, it's tough. You get a 3-game series and get shut down for a week, and then you play the game again, and then your first game back is against Cole, and then a rain out yesterday. It's like these guys have had no rhythm, and it's tough to blame them. So they just need to find a little bit of a groove and kind of get going again, I think.
Yeah. The team I do like is the Washington Nationals. I mean, they lose their best player, the best offensive player, Juan Soto, right before the season starts, and now he's back tonight. They're 4-4, and the games they've been winning have all been competitive, and they come back in the end. You know, it comes down to the wire. Yeah. Except last night, they kicked their butt. But the Washington Nationals look great, and then add Juan Soto to the mix, and boom.
Dude, they've got Josh Harrison, who they signed, Starlin Castro, Howie Kendrick. They've got just like these guys that are like the same guy who are like 15-year veterans, but they're hanging tough, man.
They know how to play baseball, man. Like Starlin Castro is a 5-time All-Star. You know, he's never been like this huge player, but I mean, he's a 300 hitter.
They're just always overlooked, you know, and like they're the veterans. Like usually these guys are like all over the league. The Nationals just happen to have all of them on the same roster.
with an amazing pitching staff.
Yeah, with Scherzer and
Corbin
and what's his name? Strasburg. That's the guy.
Strasburg's hurt, right?
Yeah. I'm just saying those guys all healthy, like they're good to go. So yeah. Nationals. I'm with you. Like they're gonna hang tough. The Phillies need to get rocking and rolling, and then
we go to the Mets. Dude, the poor Mets fans, dude.
It's so brutal.
It's every single year. Like going into it, it's like their lineup looks great, pitching staff looks great, bullpen looks great, everything's ready to go, and they're 4-8.
And then you have guys who are just like opt out and not tell the team 10 minutes before.
Dude, Cespedes just didn't show up, and then halfway through this game, his agent called.
They said he's like, "Oh yeah, I should probably send that text that's been in drafts." It's like while you're watching the game. They sent security to his room because they were like, "Is this guy okay? Like, what's going on?" And his room is just cleared out. And they're like, "What the hell is going on?"
Don't want to tell anybody.
Dude, what a mess. I feel so bad. The Mets are just like, if you get on that organization, it's like, get me out of here.
Yeah, because I mean, the thing is, you look at their bullpen, they have like 3 guys in there that are top bullpen arms, and their bullpen's just being lit. You know, and their offense is a top offense, not doing anything.
Yeah, man, they got Conforto, who's really good. Nemo's good. Alonso's good.
Hold on. Well, so the Mets have put up 48 runs, so it's not like they're not putting up runs, but they've given up 65. Like that, they're just getting lit, and I guarantee DeGrom's given up one of those.
Yeah, if that. Like DeGrom's been amazing,
and they're giving up 65 runs outside of one of their starting pitchers. That's insane. So the Mets are just a joke.
When you have players just no showing your team,
just sell the team to A-Rod and get it over with. All right, so going on to the NL Central, I think this is my favorite division right now. It's really? The Cubs are in the lead 9-2, and you got the Reds at 5-6 right below. And these teams' records are not good. Yeah, but I feel like the Reds are starting to come on hot. They have too much hitting. Their pitching, I think, is solid. They're going to turn it on here. I think the Cubs being 9-2 is, I'm not saying a fluke, but I don't think it's going to last.
Yeah, I'm worried about their pitching staff. Like they've been really good, obviously. Their point differential, it's 13. Like it's nothing spectacular. Mm-hmm. But the Brewers and the Pirates have been horrible.
The Pirates are horrible, and they just are a terrible team. We all knew that was going to happen with the Pirates, but the Brewers is a complete surprise.
It is, but it isn't. Like they lost a few guys this offseason that I think I called back in March when we were doing our thing. Like I saw them taking a step back for sure. When you have a roster that's lost like 3 or 4 guys, like major guys off your roster, and Christian Yelich is hitting like 0.75 to start the year, like you're gonna be bad. Like it's just newsflash.
Right. But I've been really liking the Reds. They've been on like MLB Network every day for the early game, so I've been just watching them like crazy.
Yeah, they have to play so many doubleheaders like that. I don't know what the deal is. They're never on the main slate for fantasy. I don't
I'm falling in love with the Reds, man. They're just roster's great. They're young.
Bauer's been really good. Sonny Gray's been really good.
Sonny Gray has been like Cy Young good.
Yeah, and Luis Castillo. So, dude, I was down on the Reds. They were my team that I was predicting to like be the biggest disappointment. It's still early, but.
And so far they're 5-6.
Yeah, they may have to. I might have to eat my words on that, just because the division's so bad. Like they're gonna beat up on the Brewers and Pirates. Yeah,
and the Cardinals are a good team, but they're just 2-3. They played 5 games.
Right, and then they get to play the Tigers Royals. So,
right.
I mean, you have like 20 wins right there.
Yeah, exactly.
In a 60-game season. So yeah, they're pretty solid. But the Cubs have been good, man. Your boy Kyle Hendricks won you a bunch of money, with that performance a couple weeks ago or a week ago.
The DFS season started off so good with him. It's all been downhill since.
Yeah, and their lineup's is legit. I mean, when you got Chris Bryant healthy and you have Rizzo, Baez, Contreras, like, dude, again, they can hit with anyone. Like, it's just about staying hot, like, and getting there and staying there.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So let's see what happens to that division. It's very interesting. So now we go to the NL West. There's one big surprise here, and it's the Colorado Rockies.
First place Rockies.
8-2. I mean, we've always looked at their lineup and just been like, yeah, obviously they're great and they get the Coors advantage and everything.
Right.
But their pitching has been amazing as well. Like Marquez, I almost pitched him in Coors the other night because he's been pitching so well. But he gave up that one like almost 2-run bomb just because it was a pop up and it flew out.
Yeah.
But that guy is legit, man. I mean, he is a major league pitcher for the next 10 years.
For sure. Him and John Gray have always been pretty good, Yeah. So, dude, yeah, they're obviously most shocking. Like, I was getting ready to like thrash the Dodgers, obviously, but they've been pretty good. Like, they're 8-4. Like, they're one game out. They're probably still going to win this division.
And with the Dodgers, the big person I want to bring up is Dustin May.
He's been
just been pitching lights out, rookie, and he's got the best look in baseball.
He's a beast, like the 6'6", like big red
hair. The red hair just
throwing
out.
Gas. Yeah, and they have this other guy, Rios, who has been playing a little bit. They pulled him again last. That was the other guy they pulled that I stacked. I was so pissed. But they just haven't looked right. Like, Bellinger hasn't quite got it going yet. Mookie hasn't really hit full stride. Like, they're going to be fine. I mean, that's how the Yankees are the best team in baseball. But, they're definitely like the Rockies are the surprise for sure.
Yeah. But then we go down to the Padres. And when I think of the Padres, I think of them as a better version of the Toronto Blue Jays. Whereas they're very young, extremely talented, but I feel like they're a little more weathered than the Blue Jays, and they're more in a position to get wins. I feel like last year they were in Blue Jays position, and now they're ready to take that step forward.
Yeah.
They just happen to have the Rockies and the Dodgers going off right now in the division.
You know what the Padres need? They need like one really good veteran pitcher and field, like someone in the lineup.
Yeah.
They need like a veteran that can just like glue it together. Because, any given night, like, their lineup can explode. Their pitching staff, like, they have guys that are young and that just,
they got gold gloves all over the field.
Yeah. But, like, Machado's not a leader. Like, your best players are just not really, like, leaders. Like, I don't know much. I'm guessing, like, Will Myers and those guys are. But, I'm just looking at some of the teams that are really bad. But, like, if I'm the Padres, like, I'm making calls, like, to the Mets, like, what's it going to take for DeGrom? Like, could you imagine like adding a top flight player to like someone like that,
Right.
Or could you imagine if the Padres got like a Whit Merrifield or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, all of a sudden, dude, they are like major contenders. So, I'm with you.
And then we go to the Giants. They've been surprising on the offensive side, not so surprising on the defensive side. They've been giving up runs like crazy. 71
they make
runs.
like 4 errors a night.
But, I mean, their offense has been fun. You got Donovan Solano batting like 480.
He's the leader in the big leagues right now, the average. Yeah, they're better than advertised. Like, they're, Yastrzemski is the best player on their team. I'm really conflicted as a fan. I feel like that, he could help a lot of teams, like as the trade for some prospects. But he's been legit. Like, dude, they're a fine baseball team. Like, they're competitive. They're probably a 500 team. They're just kind of in no man's land. They have some veterans, like they're trying to rebuild, but they don't want to full sell out like Pirates. Like where are we going here?
I gotta say one thing about the Giants, and I know he's under contract and he's part of the bad contract deal, but Samardzija, I'm so sick of watching him, man.
He's brutal.
And it's not even that like he like gets blown up for like 8 runs and he's like this terrible pitcher, but he cannot throw the ball below the belt.
Yeah.
He throws every pitch belt high, and I'm telling you, he just gets lit. And I feel like he gets lucky a lot. Like, it just gets straight line to a center fielder.
Unfortunately, their roster is full of guys like that. like
at least Longoria is doing something.
Yeah, Longoria's been fine, but I mean Crawford and Belts and these guys, Hunter Pence, like what are we doing here?
Pence, dude. There's certain things where it's like, guys, you could easily be 7-5 right now, not 5-7, just by not starting Hunter Pence.
Pablo,
the guy was like 0 for like 42.
Yeah, Pablo
to start the season.
Like, what are we doing? What's going on?
And then like our catcher situation, and it's like Joey Bart can come up right now without starting his clock. And you saw the Angels pull up Adele last night. These other teams are starting to pull their guys up, and our catcher position is a mess. What's our catcher's name? Heineman.
Yeah.
So it's happened already 4 times this year where his glove has been hit.
Catcher interference.
Like, dude. That's such rookie stuff, and he can't hit. And it's like, guys, just bring up Joey Bart.
Yeah,
what do you have to lose? Like, and it's more fun for us as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see with them. So
and then the Diamondbacks have just been terrible.
Well, the most interesting thing with the Diamondbacks, I thought their hitting was going to be a little more potent. That young, flashy team, almost like the Royals were like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, they're not doing anything. And the more disappointing person is Madison Bumgarner. And not just his stats, but his fastball is only hitting 88 at its top. His top speed is 88 miles an hour. I'm sorry, you better have the sickest movement and the sickest control ever if you're going to throw 88.
And his ball moves, but he's like a 2-pitch guy. Yeah. 3, he throws 3, but like he's a 2-pitch guy. So it's like if your fastball's not grooving, like no, everyone's just going to sit on it. Like what are we doing?
And then you got Robbie Ray just walking half the team when he goes out there.
Yeah, dude, the Diamondbacks, the DFS guys that I kind of listened to, there was a lot of people last night that were like, dude, stack the Diamondbacks.
Stack them.
And I started like diving in. I was like, this team's hitting like 130 as a team. Like, I'm not playing these guys. And sure enough, they flopped again yesterday.
Yep.
So
they're
horrible.
Yeah, so that's our division rundown. Baseball's back, baby. We'll be coming back with more input every week. You got anything else, Vin?
No, we're quarter of the way through almost. Some teams, the Marlins are more like a 10th of the way through. But we'll probably jump on another call maybe Sunday. We can rock and roll and, talk through maybe we'll do a live show throughout the PGA. Talk through the final a little bit and then hit on some baseball and kind of where things are at. So football is waking back up. We're almost there.
Love it. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
All right, guys. Later.